Hey everybody, welcome. Thanks for joining. This is James with the Soundboard team, coming to you live from the living room. Tonight, week 2, we're going to talk about Twitter engagement. This is the trickiest thing, I think, that for people to get their heads around. This is the platform that people require, I think, the most help with because it's so weird. I think we talked about that last week. But because Twitter is so weird, it obviously makes the learning curve higher and it makes it harder to get enthusiastic about getting out on the platform. But the value that can be found there is pretty high, especially because of the way that the platform behaves, and it allows you to come into contact with so many different new kinds of people that Facebook simply does not allow because of the way your friend network works. You know, remember last week we talked about how public Twitter is. So let's hop into that thought. Remember last week we started kind of talking through our 5 points of social media success. So this is focusing in on the conversation side of things. And I do like to point out at this step, I guess, that, you know, Twitter, especially if you're a Soundboard subscriber and we're tweeting for you, and you don't ever check Twitter, and you don't ever get on and check your notifications, and you're not trying to also get in there and show Twitter as a platform that you are a real person, that you're out there following people, that you're out there trying to start a conversation every once in a while. If you don't do that, then you are not going to find success on the platform, okay? Twitter is not a billboard where you can just throw stuff up out there and have it be a very one-sided thing and then expect the people to just flock to you. The platform moves too fast. Okay, and so on the rare occasion when someone comes to me and says, "Hey James, my soundboard's not working," I'll say, "Well, we're posting for you. Are you checking your notifications? Do you have your notifications turned on your app?" And 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. What's that? And so you can see why it's not quote unquote working, in that it's not driving sales, because people don't have a true conversation going. It is a broadcast network, and we don't want Twitter to only be a broadcast network. We want it to reflect another side of who we are, okay? So first thing to think through is hashtags, all right? And a hashtag is a really powerful way to get involved in conversations. Hashtags have spread to some of the other social media platforms, but they work the absolute best on Twitter. Sweetie. Sorry. Okay, so a hashtag, think of it as a conversation cataloging system, okay? And so if a lot of people are using a particular hashtag, what happens is all of those pieces of content using that hashtag show up in a search, regardless of whether or not you follow the people, okay? And that's the beauty of them, because what they do is, when you are using hashtags the right way, is they get you in front of new eyeballs. Okay, so that's the point of using hashtags that other people use, is so that you will be associated with other conversations, larger conversations, conversations that are bigger than yourself. So let's hop over to Twitter. I'll show you a real example of this. I'm going to search. If you're not aware, August is Kids Eat Right Month. It's a national thing by the Dietitian Society. Okay, so you want to be involved in this conversation. What an incredible time of the year to raise awareness about the Children's Health Study and the chewables. So if you are a Soundboard subscriber and we are tweeting for you, then I assure you, you have some tweets going out about the hashtag Kids Eat Right conversation. But we also want to involve ourselves in a personal way. Okay, so there's a lot of collateral that's out there around this month. This is the stuff that's put out from the Dietitian Society that we are also using. So there's a lot of people using these graphics right now. This is a Soundboard tweet. using this graphic, and then the person can click on this and see, you know, all this information here. But you also have MDs and, you know, blogs and stuff tweeting about this. So we want to show people that we're involved in this conversation and that we care about it. Go. Sorry, I'm going to turn this way and see if we can remove the distraction of the couch. All right, so once once you're using a hashtag, okay, I don't follow these people, but I have just completed this search. And so Michael is an MD. He has almost 73,000 followers, okay? Right below that is Water Infused with Love, who has 854 followers, who is a Juice Plus person and a Soundboard subscriber, all right? So this is the kind of thing that shows you the power of using a hashtag well, is because you can get involved in a larger conversation and be associated with brands, with other personalities, you know, those kinds of things that are a lot larger than your account is technically, but you're seen right alongside them, okay? So that is how a hashtag works to get you seen. Now, you can make up your own hashtag. All you have to do is start typing. It's a pound sign, and then start typing the words. Don't put a space. Don't put any punctuation in. Don't put an apostrophe, because that will break it. But if you use your own hashtag, you got to remember that you are not going to be seen, or that hashtag, you're kind of like shouting in an empty room in that nobody else is using it. So it's not succeeding in getting you in front of new people. So that's why you want to find hashtags that other people are using. When you're on Twitter, you can check the trends, okay? I'm in the Memphis area, and so this is why it's brought this up for me. So in my area, here are some trends for today. Sometimes they are these kind of like inspirational things. Obviously, a lot of times they're about celebrities and people, but check on these every once in a while and figure out what is going to be a valuable thing for you to associate with and become a part of. Because a lot of times you can jump on the trending hashtag and really get in front of a lot of new eyeballs that way. Another thing that I want you to be aware of is a great site called hashtagify.me. And this is live Twitter search, so you never know what's going to happen. But when you're on hashtagify.me, what you can do is you can search for a particular hashtag. Okay, travel's a pretty frequent one. You search for a particular hashtag. So let's just do this. And what happens is it will bring up related hashtags to that one that you've searched for, okay? So hashtag healthy is frequently associated with recipe, workout, fitness. And then if you click on something in particular, you can kind of follow this thread of other connected hashtags if you want to use more than one in your message. So, you know, FitFam is a big one, motivation. All these are, you know, hashtag words, okay? I'm gonna move one more time. Sorry, this is not the most professional thing in the world, I know. Stay out here, girls. Sorry, y'all, they're just enthusiastic. Okay. Sorry. So, as you are trying to figure out, you know, what hashtag you want to be associated with, this is a great resource. And then Twitter itself is a good resource too. So if you're on Twitter and you hit tweet, we've started a search for hashtag Kids Eat Right. So that's why it's gone ahead and put that one in there, because it thinks we want to have a tweet about that. But then you can start typing and it will provide suggestions for you based on the word that you're typing. And then you can pick one of these. Now, you don't know the value of it. You don't know the quality of it. You don't know the frequency of use based on this, but you do know at least that these hashtags are active. Okay, so that's another good way to find something to throw in on your message. Anyway, make sure that you're aware of what's going on with hashtags and that you are utilizing them. And again, Soundboard is doing a lot of that for you, but I want you to be aware of it on your own as well. So we've kind of covered this. When you're using a hashtag, again, you just hit that pound sign and you start typing. No spaces, no punctuation. And again, try to figure out some good ones to go off of based on the things that you're interested in and that you care about, okay? So we've also talked about finding existing trends, but there are planned trends, okay? So Kids Eat Right, hashtag Kids Eat Right is a perfect example of this. We've known this is going to be used in August for months. September is hashtag More Fruits and Veggies month. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going on around that of course, we will have Soundboard users heavily involved in. Super important conversation. But a lot of the planned health months, you know, of course, October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month is the biggest one because it has all of the corporate tie-ins and the NFL and the pink shoes and all that. But that's a perfect example of every month there is some kind of health awareness month that you can get on the bandwagon about, and you can search for these things months in advance. And so we do this, my team and I do this at the Soundboard for you for Twitter content. And you can just search for, you know, health awareness months, and then most of the time the big months will have a whole website dedicated to their trend, and there's all this great social media collateral and suggested hashtags that they want you to use and things like that. So this, again, this shows you the power of Twitter in kind of getting your account up and out of just your follower base. And we talked about it last week, but this is where Twitter really shines in showing you how flat and public the platform is. Because, again, if you're doing this, you're going to be tweeting alongside of Mayo Clinic, American Dietitians Association, you know, some really big things. And it doesn't matter that your account only has 262 followers, okay? So please check that out. One more site I want to show you real quick is called RightTag. And what RightTag does, righttag.com, RightTag can actually rank hashtags for you based on the quality of the hashtag, okay? So you can do, let's search for healthy again here. So you can see what it does is it's showing you associated hashtags and their usage stats, which is really powerful. Okay, so we just did a search for healthy, and here's some associated ones: health, life, love, food. And this shows you their frequency of use per hour, okay, on Twitter, their frequency of retweets, so their engagement count. So a good way to get retweeted. Be careful with things like that sometimes, y'all. Pornography is the most invasive, infectious thing, but they will take something and co-opt it. So be careful sometimes. Something you would think would be innocuous may or may not be, but people are horrible. So, you know, welcome to the internet. So this is your exposure per hour. So again, this is a huge one. There's plenty of innocent stuff on the web and on Twitter with this, but I would still say tread lightly. But life, health, you know, we want to stay away from diet, happy, fitness, recipe, all these things really good to use. And if you keep scrolling in your search here, these are ones that are used less. So you might think, oh, I'll just type hashtag hope because that sounds good. Check it out first and see if it's worth it. Okay, this is a lower usage category here, and then it's got here hashtag looking for some reason is slightly associated with it, but you can see that nobody's really using that there. So Gary asked, how do you be careful? Gary, to be careful on Twitter, here's what you avoid. Avoid hashtag dating, avoid hashtag romance, avoid hashtag relationships, and you're good. Okay, everything else that you would think would be troublesome is going to be troublesome. But those couple of hashtags you'd think would be, okay or not. We run all the social collateral for Match.com, so you can imagine the kinds of things that I wish I could bleach from my brain. Anyway, moving on. So that's all about trends, how to check trends, how to leverage. The other cool thing about RightTag is you can actually install an extension for your browser, and anytime you are on any platform, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever, you can type a hashtag and it will actually show you on the fly right there without going to RightTag, the quality of the hashtag. You'll get this cool little pop-up that'll show you the value of each one of them and their usage stats. So that's really cool. Shh, I can't deal with it right now. All right, so last thing let's talk about tonight is followers. I've said multiple times that ultimately followers don't matter, and I'm going to stand by that. It's true. But there's a couple of things that you must keep in mind when dealing with growing your account, because it is important. I don't want to just sit here and say you can have 0 followers on your account and be successful. You can't. So there's kind of a hidden metric built into Twitter, okay, and that is 50 followers. We've got to get your account past 50 for you to start showing up in search. Okay, and the other thing, I will say it again, I said it last week. Sorry, I'm going to shut the door real quick. It is vitally important that you fill out your Twitter profile, okay? Because if you don't, you will not show up in search. So please get that profile filled out, and then we need to get your account to 50 followers. So the best way to do that is the hardest way to do that, which is doing it the real way, which is doing it naturally by following other people, and getting out there and trying to engage. Okay, Janet asked, what were the 3 to avoid? Dating. What did I say? Dating, relationships, and hashtag single. I'm probably going to come up with 4 of them here. Single, be careful with love, dating, and relationships. I think those are the ones I said. Romance, thank you. Yeah, don't type that hashtag as a search into Twitter. Your eyeballs will regret it. And RightTag, when you're looking up healthy, do you put the word healthy before, like be a healthy recipe? No, that would be considered a separate hashtag. So if you wanted to look for healthy recipe, you would type that whole thing in and see what's going on with that. Most of the time with recipes, people use recipe, hashtag recipe, and then separately they'll use hashtag healthy or hashtag vegan or paleo or whatever the recipe is, and those would be considered 2 separate hashtags to be found more frequently. Okay, so back to picking up these followers. You've got to go out there and get your account above 50 followers. To do that, you need to go follow real people on Twitter. Go follow people, local businesses. They will follow you back. Janet, no, you do not have to put, when you're on RightTag, you do not have to put, if you're looking at this as a search for healthy, and then you see this does not mean healthy plus food. This means if you're using hashtag healthy, these are associated separate hashtags to go with it based on their relationships, okay? So let's go back over to Twitter. And when you are, Kids Eat Right, just do something, search for hashtag healthy, search for recipes and health, search for cycling, something that you're interested in. But you can also search for your area, where, especially if you're in a big area, a big city, or close to a big city, and something like health food store or St. Louis Farmers Market or Memphis gyms. Those are great kinds of things to follow because they're going to be putting out health related content on a regular basis. And when you follow local businesses, they tend to follow you back. Okay, and so yes, we want to get that follow back because we want to get our account above 50. If you love Beyonce, by all means follow Beyonce, but she's not going to follow you back. I'm sorry, she's just not. So if you want to use Twitter to consume news and information, by all means do that and follow the things that you're interested in, the movie stars and whatever. But to find people who are going to follow you back, okay? So let's take a look at Anne's account here. Anne is following 52 people and only has 27 followers, okay? If you follow her, she's going to follow you back, okay? You can tell from this ratio here. But if we go back to our search and we find that MD we were looking at a moment ago, Michael Greger, look at his ratio. He's only following 592 accounts, but he's got 73,000 followers. So this is his public branded handle, okay? This is probably not what, he probably doesn't even run this. His team does. So you can follow this to get great information, but don't expect to get a follow back from Michael Greger, MD, Nutrition Facts. But follow it to get the information. You see what I mean? So you gotta balance that out when you're looking for good stuff to follow. The other thing that you can do is this. If you find an account that you're interested in, go see who's following it. And these are probably a lot of great people. You can scroll through this. So these are the followers of Michael Greger, MD. These are probably a lot of great people to follow. This person cares about health, education, and science. Boom, follow. This person is a dietetic student. Follow. You see what I mean? So you can easily find people that you know are interested in a topic to follow in order to get that follow back by checking on the followers of accounts that you know are related to what you are going after, what you care about. Now, when you are out there in the world of Twitter, you are going to get followed by people that you have no idea who they are, and that is totally fine, and that is the point of the platform. You are going to get followed by normal people who live in San Diego and Buffalo, New York, and probably, the UK at some point. That's good. You are making connections. That's the point. You are also going to get followed by people. Let's go back to our profile. Who you have absolutely no idea who they are, and you maybe don't really care about interacting with them. Now, you as a person probably need to be a little less, picky than I am trying to be with this handle because it's a business handle, okay? But you are going to get followed by accounts that are offering social media services for you, okay? Because that is left, right, and center all over Twitter. And you've already got good ones, right? You've already got a good social media service at your disposal. I'm trying to find an example here. I do a pretty good job of keeping this cleaned off. But you're going to also follow, you're going to get picked up by stuff that doesn't seem to make sense. And they are it feels off mission, for you. So if I'm trying to find, here's a perfect example. All right, Let's One is a digital agency, websites, blogs, social media branding, free social media training video. There's a 5,005 of these on Twitter. That's lowballing it. I don't really need any help, okay? So I'm going to pick on Let's One here. If you get followed by something that you absolutely don't care about, you have a couple of options. One is let it lie if it's something like this that's pretty innocuous, but I'm just using this as an example to pick on them. You do have some options, though. If it is something that makes you uncomfortable or worse, even illicit, you can block that account, which means technically they're still following you, but they're not going to show up here in your list, and they can no longer see your stuff, and nobody will see them being associated with you. Or on the very, very, very rare chance that it's something pornographic, you can report it to Twitter and they will take action to take it down, okay? I know we all have different standards about what we're comfortable with, but if somebody is got a before and after of a gym picture, or they're in a swimsuit and they're showing off their weight loss, I don't have a problem with that from a progress perspective. But, you know, occasionally people are horrible. That's the end of the story. People are allowed to be horrible on Twitter because they can't get caught. So just be discerning, but you do have those choices there, okay? And again, if you see something like this, who cares if they follow you? You know, it makes your number go up. Just don't follow them back. But all of these people, mama of four, working from home, successful business, health habits, you know, I don't know who this person is, but why not? You know, language pathologist, feeding therapist. I don't do this often enough, but you can go through and just follow people in mass like this. Okay, and it's pretty easy to do. Here's another somebody trying to sell me some kind of digital marketing web services. But who, you know, so what? Who cares? Now, there are also going to be accounts that follow you that offer to sell you followers. These are thankfully getting less and less as Twitter's cracking down, but do not fall for the temptation to buy 20,000 followers for $400 or whatever they're offering you. If you pay that money, you will get 20,000 followers slapped on your account. But two things will happen. One is when you actually start looking through them, you are going to find that the large bulk of them are in Arabic or Japanese or Filipino. The second thing that's going to happen is Twitter's going to actually downgrade you in search and in engagement rates because they know what you've done and they penalize you for it. The third thing that's going to happen is at some point you're going to wake up and you're going to have 14,000 followers because Twitter's done a bot sweep, which means they go out and shut down all these fake accounts and your number disappears. So basically when you buy followers, you are buying a vanity number and it's not worth it. Don't do it. I can't say enough bad things about it. Okay. I think you get the point. Last thought for tonight, and then we'll try to keep to our half-hour window. Account engagement. As mentioned at the beginning, circling back around on this idea. That was Daisy. Sorry. Single dad tonight. So when you are putting content out there, if Soundboard is tweeting for you, if you're getting out there and engaging with people, you cannot not pay attention. Okay, you have to pay attention to what's going on your account. Notifications. You've got to stay on top of this so that when stuff happens, you can respond and be seen by your people that you're trying to talk to and by Twitter as a platform that you are a real person and that you are not a one-way broadcast channel. So when somebody likes your tweet, Fueling Families here, hover over them, see what they're about. Okay, this is obviously a Juice Plus person. But what did they like? They like something about a whole food diet. So let's pretend that Fueling Families is not somebody who's already in the Juice Plus world. And let's visit their profile. And let's keep in mind, okay, what did they like about what we said? They like something about a whole food diet. So let's visit their feed. Let's visit their profile and see what other things they're interested in. Well, clearly, they're interested in Juice Plus. But they've got some cute family things here. Quote of the day. Somebody doing a belly flop off a cliff. All right. So what I encourage you to do in a situation like this is when someone engages with you, you go to their profile and figure out something that they're interested in and ask them about it and engage with them and start a conversation. Do not leave an engagement on the table not responded to. So when you come to that person's profile, you tweet to them, and notice I hit the tweet to button, and it started the tweet with their Twitter handle. So they're going to get a notification that we're talking to them, and we'll say something like, it's hashtag Kids Eat Right month. Got any ideas for healthy school lunches? Okay, remember, this is breaking the ice. This is surface level. This is Twitter. This is cocktail party. Insert yourself into the conversation type of stuff. Ask a question. get a response out of this person. Now, of course, again, I know I'm talking to a Juice Plus person, but when you're out there in the wild on Twitter, you are going to find people respond to you that don't know what Juice Plus is and don't know who you are. Don't swing for the fences on the first tweet. Do not start talking product. Start a conversation based on what they cared about. Okay, this person responded to our message about whole food. Okay, keep it like that. Now, this is a little bit isolated of example because 99% of the people that follow this account and engage with this account are Juice Plus people. But it's the same thing. Okay, Chris liked my tweet about high water content fruits and veggies. Respond to Chris. Reply to Chris with a tweet about, did you get your 6 glasses of water today? Something like that. You know, so just figure out what they responded to and go from there. All of these people who followed us, figure out who they are, hover over their title here, a fun-loving dispatcher with health in mind to help others. If it is appropriate, follow them back. That is rule number 1, good courtesy. Here we've got a girl boss, Simple Body Ambassador, join our juicy team. I think that's a little on the nose. Beth, if you're on the call, sorry to pick on you. Don't be quite that grabby. You know what I mean? But anyway, follow that person back. This person, interesting. Simon is a company director of a graphic firm. I don't know anything about Simon. I don't know who he is. This would be a great person to try to start a healthy living conversation with. And this person didn't even engage with anything. They just followed us out of the blue. Okay, who knows how they found us? Doesn't really matter. But we would go to Simon's profile. Daisy, please stop that, love. And we would try to figure out, obviously he's a Leo fan. He likes to post funny GIFs. We would figure out what he's interested in and start a conversation with him about his interests, especially if we can tie it back to health. All right? And so that's how you do that. You tweet to, there you go. I was going to pick on one more person here that I saw in my notifications. All right, so remember, Margarita, if you're on the call, Margarita, no one's going to follow you. Okay? Fill out your profile, be a real person, talk to people. All right, I've run 2 minutes over. Sorry. If you have not joined us on the soundboard, we would love to have you. Thank you for your patience tonight. Daisy, Lily, wherever Rose may be.
She's out there on the couch.
She's out there on the couch. I'm going to go clean up the mess that came through. I just heard a lot of crashing sounds in the last 10 minutes. I don't know what I'm walking into out there. Thank you all for your patience. Do you reply even to Juice Plus folks? You know, there's no reason not to. Be friendly. I think it's a great opportunity to show Twitter as a platform that you are engaged and active, and that is worth its weight in gold. So please do that. Shh, will not. And here's Rose. All right, everybody, girls, say goodnight. Any other questions?
No.
I'll give you 1 minute to chat. To type them.
Daddy, I want to see you. Daddy, can I, when you're on your call, can I please type Daisy? Oh.
Whoa.
Wait.
Okay. Thank y'all. Okay, you're still unclear about using right tag. Okay, one more round on right tag. Okay, so when you go to right tag, you will create a search here. All right, let's do this one. Kids eat right, because we know that's a good active hashtag this month. Okay, so with hashtag kids eat right, we've created this search, and what right tag is saying is, wow, this is interesting. Okay, a better hashtag to use. So see how it sorts it and use these hashtags to get seen now. Use these hashtags to get seen over time. Do not use these hashtags. What it's trying to tell you is the value of your hashtag versus something that may be a better idea. You're standing on my cord, sweetie. So hashtag nutrition is getting way more play. Now look, hashtag kids eat right, even though it's Kids Eat Right month and the Dietetics Association was hoping for this giant influx of content, only 4 people have used that in the last hour and 0 people have retweeted it. So this is not getting the exposure that they were hoping for, at least right now. no, wait. But on the other hand, these, if you want to use this, which I would encourage you to do because it is the month, include this with it, right? Throw in hashtag nutrition with it. Don't use this. So this was there was some kind of other like Eat Right month a couple of months ago that was using this, but now it's expired. So it's just saying, don't use this. These are dead hashtags at this point. Yes, so two separate hashtags. You want to use them both. You can use 20 hashtags in a tweet, but when you do that, it really gets spammy and hard to read, so I discourage it. Daisy, do not do that. You're going to fall off the bed. I'm sorry. So yes, just use 1, 2, or 3 hashtags in a message. Hashtag nutrition, hashtag kids eat right, and then if it's a recipe, throw 2 or 3 in there. That's totally fine. Just don't throw 20 in there. It gets difficult, hard to read. It doesn't matter. You can use them in the sentence as the word, or you can put it at the beginning or the end. At any point, you can make it part of the sentence or at the end, whatever you want to do. All right. How do you tweet to on the app? So whenever you are looking at somebody's profile, Daisy, you got to stop that. I do not want to go to the hospital tonight. Whenever you tweet to somebody on the app, I just go to their profile and hit tweet to, and it'll bring up their name in the tweet. Or you can just start typing if you know their Twitter handle and type the @ symbol, and then it'll include that. Tweet to is not private. Janet, I'm glad you said that. It is not a private thing. If you tweet to somebody, like we talked about last week, this is a public message. This is a private message. This is the direct message, and this is how you we'll talk more about direct messages later, okay? But Janet, it's not a problem that tweet to is public, okay? You want to remember that everything on Twitter is public, and that's a good thing. I'm running over time here, but thanks for sticking with me. I'm gonna sign off so that I don't have to take a girl to the ER tonight. You gotta stop. You gotta stop. No more flips off the bed. Thank y'all. I'm out.